If your credit's not good, start off with their low tier card, get into it for a year or two. Then because you have a relationship with them in good standing, they'll approve you without giving you inquiry. A lot of people don't want to get help with credit because they're embarrassed. They don't know anything.
Yeah.
So they don't want to admit. I had friends who are like, look, man, I was embarrassed to even show you my score. If your family has good credit, tell them to add you as an authorized user so you get a little boost of their history. And most people don't know, when you're making minimum payments, as long as you make a payment, the more credit you have, the more extensive credit you have, banks will just give you money. That's the whole point of it. You want to use other people's money to fund everything, not yours. Nothing wrong with yours, but if you have 100K and you use it all in investment and another investment comes, your money's tied.
Right.
But if you're on a loan, you just pay, like, let's say interest is 10%, right? But my investment is returning 14. I'm making 4% profit on the bank's money. And I can use my other money for something else, or liquidate another card, or open up another loan. That would be the secret of it. In America, credit is key for everything.
Welcome to another exciting episode on the SocialPath podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Social Path. I'm your host, Harry Obama J. I got a special friend today, Mr. Hector, Mr. Bambino, Mr. Lifesaver, Mr. Credit Man. So super excited for this episode, guys. A lot to learn. A lot of people were asking about, how do I improve my credit? Can you talk about finances? What can I do if I have a lot of money? Well, this is a time, this is a platform. So welcome to my boy Hector, Mr. Bambino. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Hey, so what you been up to, man? Tell the folks who you are and what you been up to, bro.
So my name is Hector, also known as Bims. My Instagram is Dr. Bims. So work, life has been crazy. Went to school. I was working as an EMT for a while.
Oh, EMT, right?
Yeah, I was in ambulances for a while. Yeah, you probably see me in the parties of my little Colorado, But yeah, I was an EMT for about like 8 years while I was going to school and working.
Wait. So like, I always want to know, right? Because people who see a lot of dead bodies and shit, like, honestly, like, what's the craziest thing you ever seen as an EMT?
Ooh, the craziest.
Like, give us what does your life look like as an EMT?
I mean, this is when I was younger. I mean, you get your BS cake.
Mm-hmm.
We get our BS cases where someone calls, I have back pains like 2 a.m. I used to work the overnight. The crazy I would say would be like this accident, like 2 cars come, people just
bloody everywhere.
Jesus, and then I showed up late to one, but it was a suicide.
Oh shit!
And they jumped off like one of the buildings.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to the scene kind of late, so
my god.
Yeah, but then a lot of times it was just kind of like a lot of fighting. Someone got cracked in the face and then broke his nose and he fell down the stairs completely. That was kind of funny, but I mean, it was just nothing too crazy.
Like
no gunshots, nothing like that.
So like, if you see a lot of dead bodies, like, do you ever become numb to it?
Yeah. It's like you kind of have to turn it off. You know what I mean? Just like, even if like, let's say you're a nurse working in a pediatric unit, like in a cancer ward, some of these kids might get sick. Yeah, they might not make it. So you got to kind of like turn it on and off. So like you care, you interact with patients. Yeah. But sometimes things happen, so you can't just let it, affect you when you get home. Sometimes you get kind of numb to every aspect of your life, but it definitely, you get used to it.
You don't get haunted by anything that you see? Like, you don't have bad dreams? And
nah. I mean, I try to help them. It's not like they try to go haunt me, but you know what I mean?
Try to help the ghost.
Like the Sixth Sense, trying to help them cross through, you know what I mean? But like, nah, honestly, like I said, I've been doing it such a long time. It just comes like it's like another day in the office,
No, it's funny because when I was growing up, I wanted to become a doctor until I got deterred by my friends. They're like, you want to become a doctor? So I mean, I always wanted to see what that life was, but then like, I don't think I'd be able to handle all that death stuff, man.
It's a lot, man. I mean, after that, I went to grad school, got my doctorates in PT, love it. But like you said, a lot of my friends now, looking back, the way healthcare is going after COVID, the amount of student loans you're going to get into. Yeah. For the pay, it's a lot to deal with, and unfortunately, healthcare has been real. It's very insurance based. Yeah. So like, I want to treat you, but your insurance isn't good, so we can't.
So I'm just gonna die.
Depending on the hospital, or depending, or like, Jesus. You get covered for this, but we only fix this. You know what I mean? So it's like,
you need a heart transplant. But I can't do like a blood exam.
Best I can get is draw your blood. No, but like, it's unfortunate, but it depends on the places. But or you just get the best top tier service, but you got to pay and you don't have it. So it's just always kind of like, healthcare is getting kind of crazy, which is why I've been trying to make the switch and been on this whole financial situation. And I'm trying to just bring value into people. Like, I noticed this is a big gap in financial literacy, money, credit, things that people never taught us, whether like I'm first generation here. So a lot of the values of your parents don't know. Yeah. You're not going to know. And schools aren't teaching you anything about Anything you want to know.
Yeah.
I know Pythagorean like theorem. I don't know how to do your taxes.
That's a long time. Wow.
But you remember that.
Yeah.
But can you do your taxes? You understand interest? You understand student
But
loans?
in my opinion, there's a reason why schools are taught the way they're taught, right? I think everything is more government based because the government doesn't want you to master your taxes. This is how they get paid. You know what I mean? So it's like, why teach the folks that we leverage to create this country that we have to bypass the system? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but like it's crazy because if you look at the actual book, there's like a bunch of different chapters and pages that teach you how to not pay taxes legally, but no one wants to read it.
Yeah,
and no one wants to do anything. Like,
well, that's and look, if you're a conspiracy theorist like myself, that's probably one of the reasons why like you have social media. That's why you have all these distractions, right? Because it's like, you don't want people to be either where they start to pick up books and learn some stuff. You want them to be the robots that they are. This way we can control them in many ways.
Exactly. Exactly.
So then so EMT, you've been doing it, you're still doing it, you got your doctorate, but then somehow, some way you became the Mr. Credit Man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So talk
So
about that. Like what inspired you to want to pursue that?
So it's a funny story, right? So you always learn from the bad things that happen to you. So I realized in maybe 2017, 18, I'm like, you know what? My financial literacy isn't the best.
Yeah.
I have my doctorates. I'm educated. I have all these loans. I don't know what any of this means. They tell you go to school, get a loan. Right now, if you want a business loan for 100K, banks are going to make you run through all the bells and whistles. You're 18 or 17 years old applying for a school. And they'll be, I need 100,000. Here you go.
There you go.
No questions
There
asked.
you go.
No questions asked.
And you know why though, right?
Yeah, to keep you in debt. And
Keep you in debt.
Yeah.
I had one of my great mentors. He told me, he sat down with, he was on a flight with one of the top execs from Chase Bank,
JP Morgan.
JP Morgan, right? Mm-hmm. And he was saying, like, he asked the guy a question. He goes, what's your goal? Like with kids, what's your ultimate goal for them? He goes, it's very simple. Our goal is to keep people in debt for the rest of their life. And he didn't even sugarcoat it. He said, this is reality. This is, we give you guys the money knowing that you're not going to be able to pay it off. And we collect the residuals. That's our business. That's a business model that we follow. And it's not moral to you, but it's no different than somebody who is in real estate. It's like you want them to pay rent and you're ripping them off. But to them, it's okay. Well, they're taking our money, investing it into an education, but we know we won't keep them in debt forever. So be it.
And the thing is, people are comfortable with that, which is sad. Like, I'd rather pay this monthly, but they never do the math on like a mortgage, a car, a loan. Oh, I'll pay it back in 30 years. And then you do the math and you're paying back almost double of what you borrowed.
You know what bothered me a lot though is like when COVID happened and they were like, hey, you don't have to pay your loans. Oh yeah, we have to pay? All right, cool, we're chilling. Yo, you could pay your loans, but you don't have to.
At 0%.
At 0% interest. So they said, I'll wait. So then what people did was they waited, and now instead of paying off their loans and getting rid of that. So again, people are just.
I had one buddy, he just went ham throughout COVID and paid off all his loans.
Yeah, smart guy.
He's like 0%. He just all day. That's all he did was just work.
He's trying to get ahead. People are trying to stay stuck. He's trying to get ahead.
But it's crazy because like I realized that, and I'm like, you know what? I can admit if I'm not good at something. I'm like, look, my financial literacy isn't the best. Started reading. I started learning. I'm like, what? This is crazy. I went through this whole rabbit hole, and then back in 2020, I said something on my credit card, and my alert went off, and I was like, yo, I went from an 8 something to a 690. Like, what the fuck?
What the hell?
And then I look and I was like, all right, but it was like during Thanksgiving. So I call.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you have an outstanding collections. I'm like, for what? Some energy company in Houston. Like, let's say our PSE&G, but out there.
Yeah.
I was like, why Houston? He's like, is it not you? I'm like, unless you guys are sending me energy from Houston to Jersey, there's no way this belongs to me. He's like, so you're not TexasGirl43@gmail.com. I'm like, no, I'm a man from New Jersey. And then
that's
they're like,
wild though. So they were
fraud.
Wow.
So then I was like, are you serious? So then the whole dispute thing. Since then, it's happened to me 6 times where I recently had something happen in April where they try to open up credit cards in my name.
Yeah.
But I locked everything. But the thing is, I opened up a card and then I forgot to relock it. You know what I mean? So then like, if you lock your credit right? The only way you can get approved for anything, you have to unlock it. So you can manually unlock it.
Right.
So they applied, but they sent paperwork like, hey, we need you to prove your social in this for us to approve you. When I didn't do it.
So somebody basically took your social and impersonated you and whatever. Wow, that's wild.
So then that happened to me 4 times. 2 energy companies, an AT&T bill when I had T-Mobile at the time, and then another phone company, all in like Houston, Dallas.
So you went to Houston, you met some girl, and you thought it was all good.
Nah, bro, she chopped and screwed me real bad, man. Nah, but it wasn't even that. Like I was like, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
They're like, you might have been a victim of identity theft, and I'm like, yo, this happens. And then at the time, I wanted to buy a car, buy a house.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't go to a mortgage with a 500 credit score because they keep opening. And like what they did, it was like they opened something, let's say the phone bill or let's say the light bill for 3 or 4 months. They didn't pay it. They sent it to collections.
Yeah.
And then I got hit because it was tied to me, with my social or my name. But then I went into it. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like I have good credit. How is this happening to me? So then I started learning about fraud, the FTC, all the credit laws, the FTC. You know what I mean? So then I was like, oh, okay, this is a thing. And then a lot of my friends, I was kind of just giving them tips, and they're like, I don't know anything about this. And I was like, bro, you make mad money. Lawyers, doctors. I'm like, yeah, I just know this. Have a card paid off, nothing else.
Yeah.
And you know me, bro. I've always been traveling. I was like, yeah, how do you travel so much? I use points. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like,
oh, we're gonna talk about that.
But so then, like, the thing is that, like, I realized there was a big gap in the Spanish community, urban community, any community. Even if it doesn't matter how educated you are, most people aren't educated on credit. They just have a card and that's it.
Yeah.
But I just went down a rabbit hole of like, what to do, how to fix it, the laws. Like right now, I currently have a lawsuit against TransUnion because I had identity theft recently.
Yeah.
I disputed it. They said, oh, it's not you. I'm like, all right, cool. The law states 30 days. You have to verify it, right? And they said it wasn't me. Okay, day 31, I already talked to a lawyer. I was like, all right, we're going to go after it. By law, they have to validate it because it's identity theft. I have this. I have the police. I have everything done.
Yeah.
So I submitted my claim. Best case is they remove it, done. If not, I get money for suing them and I get it removed off my debt.
You know what's crazy? Sometimes like setbacks, right, is what propels you forward.
It's insane.
I'll give you a quick story because like I'm going through some stuff with real estate investments, and honestly, it's like, why does this happen to me? Why me of all people? Why can't it happen to somebody else?
Yeah.
But you know what? The stuff that I've learned, I'm about to open up another business
just to address that problem.
If you guys are going through this, trust me, I can handle it. I know exactly what the town's looking for. I know I can speak to any of these issues because I'm going through it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Like you learn the most when bad things happen. You don't
Exactly.
learn.
Yeah.
So that's what happened with me. I got into the credit space. I opened up my credit repair company last year, around the end of the year. I'm currently trying to restructure everything.
What's the credit? What's the business name?
It's actually called Honest Credit Solutions, and the reason I called it that is because a lot of people getting ripped off, and I kind of was like, let me just give everybody value, free. Hey, this is what it is. This is what we do. If you don't like it, cool, do whatever. But like, I'm not lying to you because I've seen people get ripped off, and like being a minority or being from an urban area, like they don't educate you. They're not gonna educate you.
Right.
They're not gonna help you. So I'm like, look, I try to run a clear, ethical, on the books through all like laws and try to be like, I don't want to have any issues or try to get sued.
Yeah.
It just kind of be clear, transparent. It is what it is. And these are the options I have. And then from there, I wanted to build like a credit literacy course where I can just teach people about like credit, how to understand it. And then I'm building the travel hacking because that's the big ticket that everyone wants to learn how to travel for free, how you do all this stuff. And then I've been kind of working on the business funding, kind of leveraging your credit, how to like basically, if you're a small business, because most people, small businesses, you know what I mean? Like under 50 or 100K, they have the idea, they have the drive, they have the ambition, they want to leave their 9 to 5, but they don't have like working capital. And when you have a new business, you don't have capital, you can't get loans. So sometimes I'll help leverage credit, 0% cars to kind of help them get started. But you got to remember, this is a tool to help you and then pay it off. But credit is a tool. In the wrong hands, the wrong information, it's terrible. Most people don't know what to do.
With great power comes what? Great responsibility.
Uncle Ben, he's just
Uncle
dropping.
Ben, man.
But yeah, so exactly, like I got into that whole realm. So now I'm like trying to push out content, try to give as much free value. I'm still learning I'm pretty new to content. So I'm like still editing videos. I'm still doing everything myself.
Look, I'll be honest, man. I saw your following and it grew like crazy. Yeah. So tell us something. Like tell the influencers out there or people who are inspired to be an influencer, like what's some tips that helped you grow the following? I'm
going to be completely honest with you. If you would have known me, my content back in the day, my old Instagram name was Bams Makes Her Dance. Everyone's like, this is hilarious. But my friends that are influencers like, yo, you need to be professional. You got to change your name. Bams to make your dance is hilarious and catchy.
Yeah.
But the underscores between them is just going to be too confusing.
It's too confusing, right?
So then I was like, all right, cool. Like, what do you want to do? It's like, it's like you still have your doctorates. I was like, yo, my friends would be like, yo, what's up, Dr. Bams? Bust my chops. I'm like, all right, let me just, because I can still like, my whole thought is like, I can help rehab people and their credit or whatever they need, right? That's kind of my philosophy.
Yeah.
So I went to dr.bams _ because someone took I don't know how they took that name, but whatever. So Dr. Bams came alive. For a while, I didn't want to post content because I was embarrassed. I didn't know how to make a video. You just got to do it. People are not going to like it. Being consistent. I've been consistent for I probably started posting consistently, maybe say February, March, or maybe April. And I've been just trying to be consistent. And if you look at my page from the first video till now, you're going to be like, what the fuck? The lighting, my face. Now I'm like, all right, let me get haircuts because I don't want to look homeless. I got people looking at me.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, right? So obviously SocialPath is growing the way it is. I this is not free promotion. I guarantee you not. This is not free promotion. I switched from a Droid to iPhone, and it changed a lot.
You know what? All the apps are designed more for Apple.
For Apples, yeah.
You know what I mean? So the video quality on the Androids are nice, but the apps and how you're playing with it, Instagram and all that stuff, it's more integrated for that.
Yeah.
So I can honestly say, like, if you're a new influencer and you're thinking about it, it's gonna suck. Just do it, because every single video I made, I'm like, oh, I'm taking too long, I'm talking too long, or I'm like editing like, hi. Oh, like I was gonna say, hey guys, I'm gonna talk about credit. Yeah. I messed up the word credit or hey guys, like at the same take 30 times. So now I learned, okay, hey guys, stop. We're going to talk about this. And then I just blend it together.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So then if you have trouble with that, because like, let's say you want to say something in 10 seconds, you get 9 seconds right, but then you messed up the last part. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, let me just chop it up. Then you start blending it. Then you got the different captions and you got different pictures. Then you got to play with the lighting, because I'm like, oh, this lighting is good. Oh, now you need this light to show this. And then you need this. Like, you're going to make these errors. But the thing is, like, people will see and respect it because you're being consistent. So I was consistently trying to post at least one video a week. Then I'm like, it's not enough. Then I try to do it daily. There's times I slack or I'm on vacation or whatever, but like sometimes I'll put memes just because I'm like, I don't want to post today, but let me make a meme just to keep people. Because now, like, I'm a PT. I've been a PT for 7 years, but now people don't even know me as a PT. Like, yo, what's up with the credit? I go to my gym, like,
credit guy.
Yo, what's up, bro? What can I go with this? Or what credit card do you recommend? Even if it's a joke, but I'm like, now they see me in that light.
And look, I'll be honest. I went from 800 to 840.
Yeah.
By watching one of your posts. It literally was like, hey, keep track of like the last period of payment, right? Something
closing
like that.
Date with the closing
day, right?
Utilization, yeah.
And just make sure that it's under, like, what percentage you have to be under, like?
They recommend 20, but if you can control the payment under 6 or 10%, it's perfect.
So and I did exactly that, right? I'm like, all right, I'm close to that payment. Let me just pay off whatever I got. Yeah. Keep it under, and boom, my credit went from 800 to 840 in like less than a month.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't even do anything different. It's just the little things that you basically said.
That little gem. So like, it's all kind of like a game and like an algorithm and like numbers, how it works. Yeah. So if you know how to calculate it, it's just pretty easy. So then like, most people don't understand that. Like people like, how is the fastest way I can fix my credit? I'm like, utilization, which is worth 30% of your score is like how much of your total credit limit you're using. Yeah. Right? It's a mathematical equation. You take the credit balance divided by the limit. And then times that by 100, that gives you the percentage. Mm-hmm. Right? So you have a $5,000 limit, you spend $2,500, you're at 50%. Yeah. Anything under 20 is what they recommend, but mathematically, if you're going to pay it off on time, pay it off on time at, let's say, 5%. Now they're reporting Harry's using 5% of his score. He's responsible.
Yeah, he's responsible, right?
So then here's your points on that. If you actually pay it off at 0, you won't get all the points. You're just going to get points, but not all of it, because they want you to use and be responsible. And the reason I tell people is like, if you're maxed out, which 90% of the people are, they max their cards out 100%. They make the minimum payment every month.
Crazy.
So
that means you're just eating that interest rate.
You're getting an interest rate on credit cards are like
29%. Yeah. It's like ridiculous.
If you have a 0% card, that's different. Yeah. But most people are using shitty cards at 20%. So the key formula is this: utilization. You want to highlight your balance divided by the limit, right? Mm-hmm. And then get that number. What you want to do, there's 3 important dates that most people don't know. This is going to help you raise your score.
Go ahead, break it down.
I'm going to break it down for you. The 3 important dates you want to know: the opening date, the closing date, and the due date, right? Mm-hmm. The due date is when you have to pay it off in full before you get charged interest. The closing date is when 3 to 4 days before that closing date is when they report it to the credit bureaus. So if you can pay, let's say you spend 5,000 out of the 5,000, but if you pay it off 3 to 4 days before that, up to like, let's say 1%, then they're going to be like, oh, Harry only used 1%. But if you pay it before the due date, which is fine, they're still going to report, oh, he used this much of it, but he paid it off, you know. And most people don't know, when you're making minimum payments, as long as you make a payment, they're going to report that you're on time. It doesn't matter if it's the minimum or full.
Right.
If you make the minimum interest, the banks make money on the interest. So just playing with that is a quick way of raising your score between 30 to 40 to 50 points.
You recommend people doing like older payments just to make sure that they don't miss a payment?
I mean, you could do that. Just remember, if you want to play with utilization before the closing date. So mathematically, let's say your limit is 10,000, right? And you spent 8,000, right? So you're at 80%. So before the closing date, so let's just say you want to leave let's say of the 8,000, you want to put 7,500, right? So now your limit is 5% before the due date. You still got to pay the 5% or the 500 or whatever before the due date, but now utilization is low. Right. And that applies for one card. So your total credit utilization looks at every single card as a whole. So like collectively, my total credit limit could be 100K.
Right. So
another key thing, this is super key, your credit limit. Remember, it's a math equation.
Right.
So if your limit's 1,000, but you spend 500, you have 50%. But if your limit's 10,000 and you spend 500, was it less than one? You know what I mean? Or if you have a 20,000 or 40,000 card.
Right.
So I tell people, if you have higher limits, it doesn't matter what you spend, because if people have a $200 card, it's easy to spend $100 and you're at 50%.
Right.
So they're always going to be hit with utilization. So the key thing is either pay before the closing date or have a higher limit. And the way you get higher limits is you ask for credit increases without triggering a hard inquiry. Or if you keep spending the card and pay off in full, the banks will say, okay, he's responsible. Let's keep increasing his limit. So every once in a while, they'll increase your limit. And then now the same amount of money you're spending goes down on utilization because your limit is higher. And then the thing is that, like, most people don't know, when you're looking at your credit card bill, so if anyone who's watching, pause this, whatever.
Rewind, pause, rewind. He did some math.
Like this,
rewind.
Like this, subscribe, all that, all right? You're going to take your credit card bill. You're going to look at the open date and the closing date and the due date. Those dates, the due date is what you're paying for that previous bill segment. Right. So let's just say it's going to be 30 to 31 days, depending on the month, right? So let's just say right now we're in October. So let's say October 1st to October 31st, your due date is November 15th. So your due date is for any transactions from October 1st to October 31st to November 1st, right? So that's what you're responsible for. So if your limit is $10,000, I'm just picking out a number for math's sake, but you spend 8,000, you're going to take the balance divided by the limit times 100. That gives you 80%. So before the closing date, in this example would be October 31st or November 1st, you want to pay that balance down below 10%. The 1 to 6% is the perfect marker. Because remember, you have the money, and this is for people who are responsible. Yeah. You got money and you're spending it, put it on your credit card. Boom. And just pay it off like that. Yeah.
And don't think, oh, because I have this limit, I may not have it in my bank, but I have this limit, I can do whatever I want. Like me personally, I can afford it, right? I can use my debit, but I will never buy something that I'm like, yo, it's gonna take me like 4 months to pay it off. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
Unless, if I'm gonna do something like that, let's say you move in or something happens, an emergency, I get it. Yeah. But then if you have good credit, I've leveraged it. There's been an opportunity last year. I was taking a few courses investing in my business. And I'm like, I have good credit. I opened a 0% credit card for 12 months. I spent $4 or $5K.
0% interest.
0% interest.
Right.
And as long as you make the minimum payment, you have that promotion for a year. So I'm like, I don't have 4K now, but by the end of the year, I'll have 4K. Boom, I paid it off. It's cool. And that's a good way of just playing with that. I had a client, it was like, listen, I broke my boiler, or I need a new boiler. I don't have 10K. I'm like, bro, your credit's good. Open to 0%. There's one for 12 months, 15 months, 18 months, whatever bank, whatever promotion they have. He's like, that, thank you. Did it, boom. And he was like, I could pay it off for 3 months. All right, cool. But you have the year. I'm not saying wait. Yeah. But then he's like, yo, fuck, bro. The year, wait, what do I do now? I'm like, all right, we're going to do a balance transfer. So now we're going to balance transfer to another card. So now you basically extended you moved your debt to another card.
Isn't that illegal though? Isn't that some type of crime? No, it's legal?
Yeah, it's legal.
I can take my money and put it into another bank and just keep going.
But you're basically prolonging the problem when you can actually
Yeah, but think about it. I just keep going.
Yeah, you can, as long as you get approved. If you don't get approved, then no, but it is legal. because it's a balance transfer.
So guys, it's a loophole.
hack.
All right?
That's a
hack,
loophole.
All right. If you're in trouble, only if you're in trouble, and you heard it here first, get another credit card, transfer it.
Actually, wait. If you're in trouble, most likely your score's not good.
Oh, that's true. So you might not get approved.
So if you don't get approved, but if you have good, like, like I had somebody who had tax problems.
Yeah.
Like, you can pay the IRS for your credit card, they charge you a fee, but you have a business, you can write off the interest.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
Talk to your accountant.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
You make your own decisions, all right? Yeah. This is a recommendation. Hey, we may be wrong 100% of the time, but there's a way to find a solution to every problem if you have credit issues.
If you have good credit.
Yeah.
If you have bad credit, hit me up, we fix it up, and then we can handle that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like, it's a tool. And if you know how to use the tool, you can use it in that specific way.
So for parents who are watching, should they just get their kids credit cards and just start building their credit from young age? Because we weren't taught that, right? We were given cash, buying pizza for $1.25.
Honestly,
back
that's how I started, bro. Like, hustling, working, doing whatever I got to do, parties, whatever, make money. And my mom was the first one who got me into it, but she didn't understand it the way I did. She's like, get your credit, have credit, and that's it.
Right.
And she's like, oh, what are you gonna do if you want to buy a car? I'm like, all right, how much is a car? Bring a duffel bag and bring money. She's like, you can't do that. You look like a drug dealer. Like you gotta build credit. So then what she started with me was like, look, this is what you're gonna do. If we're gonna go to Applebee's with your friends. Cool. How much is the bill? $20. You have a $20 bill? Put it in your pocket, put it on your credit card, and then pay it off. That's it. So I was doing that for years. And then
you were paying off right away.
Yeah. Or I just put it on the side. Whenever the bill came, it was just paid off in full.
Right, okay.
And then she was like, why? And then I was like, listen, this is how it works. This is how interest works. The bill cost $20, right?
Yeah.
If you want to pay the minimum payment, you pay $4. But by the end of the year, you're going to pay back $50. And I was like, that is retarded. Why would I pay $50 for something that costs $20? That just makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's how she explained interest to me. And I was like, I'm never going to pay for that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would I pay $50 for something that only costs $20?
Right.
You know what I mean? But then I get it. Life happens. But like, that's how she broke it down for me. So my friends are always like, oh, what about interest? I'm like, dude, I don't care if the interest is 0% or 1,000,000%. I'm paying every bill on time in full. If I don't have the money, then I'm not going to buy it. But if I have an emergency, you could use the 0% promotions. But it's a promotion for 12 months. People get comfortable. Then the 12-month comes and you're like, oh shit, I got to pay 10, 20, whatever you owe. But every dollar I spend, I have the money. I mean, I go out to eat, we buy drinks, it's different. I know I'm going to get paid, but every transaction, I make sure I pay in full, which is why using the certain credit cards is going to make sense because then you get points or cash back. So I'm basically printing.
So let's talk about that then, because I'm a big credit card. Remember, I hit you up. I'm like, yo, Bam's like, yo, I'm thinking of a credit card, new credit card. Which one should I get? So tell me, what do you consider your top 5 credit cards? Again, this might be free promotion, but the top 5. Well, for example, like I know a lot of girls out there want to get flown out and all that stuff. So guys, you better listen up.
Guys, if you're trying to fly out your girl, listen. I made money. And I have points. The girls like, fly me out. I got you. She's like, oh, you're a baller, bro.
Girls don't want to spend your own money. You want to spend our money. Fine.
Yeah,
right,
bro.
Sure.
I've flown out girls to come hang out with me or run a date or whatever because we long distance or bullshit. And she's like, oh, you got money? Yeah. How much is the ticket? $500? Don't worry, I got you. I missed you. That shit, after points, it cost me like $5.60 with taxes.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
For one way. I'm like, you pay one way, I'll pay the other way. I use my points. It's fucking smart. Yo, they don't know that. You know what I mean? But in reality,
that's funny.
When it comes to credit cards, right? They all do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? By basic definition.
Yeah.
Some credit cards are meant for cash back. Some are meant for travel. Some are meant for hotel points. Some are for whatever. For example, there's co-branded cards, which are basically cards like Hilton, Delta. These are basically cards that have a relationship with something. Ulta Beauty for any other female listings, Victoria's Secret. They're just basically a credit card that rewards you in whatever that brand is. Then you have regular credit cards that will give you cash back. Then you have travel credit cards that reward you for travel. So they have something called, I call them multipliers, right? So they'll say, if you shop at restaurants, they'll give you 3% cash back or 3 points. If you go to online stores, if you go to gas stations, you go to drugstores, supermarkets, blah, 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 blah. Whatever your lifestyle is, what I tell my clients is like, look, if you know you're gonna hit a big spend in a certain category, get that card. But if not, your regular lifestyle should feed you points.
Right.
So you look at your bill, look at every transaction you make with a credit card. And if you're paying with your debit, stop it and put it on the credit card because you're gonna pay it off on time. And I have people like, oh, but if I had a credit card for $10,000, I might spend $10,000. Like, all right, would you do that for your debit card? No. Why? Because I don't have $10,000 in the bank. Well, then treat your credit card like a debit card.
Right.
You know? So then it's like this. You look at the category of your lifestyle, what you spend the most, and I call it like credit card planning. I have a bunch of cards. I probably have like 27 cards. But I
You
use
own 27?
yeah, I have like 27 cards. Yeah, people are like, I heard too many credit
Bro.
cards are bad. I'm like, I'll show you my credit score right now. I'm like
That's
an 830.
crazy.
Yeah.
So wait, if you have 27, like, do you get penalized for not using one of them?
No. I mean, they will try to shut it down. Well, I shut it down if you don't use it. But bro, all right, cool. I haven't used it in a while. Go to 7-Eleven, buy a bottle of water, or buy a cookie or something like that, and just keep it out. You know what I mean?
That's smart.
Because
Okay.
of history, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to my main cards, I'm a big traveler, so I want to get rewarded in travel.
Yeah.
Eating. If you go out to eat, restaurants, the top card in my opinion
In your arsenal?
is my Amex Gold.
Amex Gold. Okay, you
Amex
heard that?
Gold?
Amex Gold for you guys who like to take girls on dates.
Yeah. Or if you like to go to dinner on your friend's birthday and everyone Venmos you, just put it on your card, the Venmo you, you're paying it off.
Yeah.
4 points for dollar spent. So that would be this bad boy.
Oh,
Amex, all right?
damn. Okay.
Yeah. Amex Gold, 4 points for dollar spent.
Well, let me ask you a quick question though, because I was going between the platinum and the
All
gold.
right, I got the platinum too.
So
That one's a good one too.
So should I which one
All
should
right.
I get if I'm pursuing one of these cards?
All right. If we're just
Like what's the big difference?
all
Like,
right, so we're gonna talk about Amex only right now because this is the conversation, right?
Free promotion, Amex. Just man, go ahead.
Hook it up. Just give me more points. Amex Platinum, right? They both have annual fees. The Amex Platinum is a little heftier, but they give any card that you pay an annual fee for, they give you back value.
Right.
Now, is the value worth it to you? They'll give you, hey, we give you $200 on Equinox. Do you work out at Equinox? No, then that credit's not worth it.
Yeah.
We give you Peacock, ESPN, all this stuff. If it's something you can use it. If not, you don't care, but you might as well take advantage of it.
Right.
Amex Platinum, they give you 5 points per dollar spend booking flights directly through them, through their portal, or directly through the airline for every dollar spent. Everything else is 1 point. The gold, the personal gold, because there's business cards as well, the personal gold gives you 4 points per dollar spent at groceries and restaurants for every dollar spent. And then if you want to travel, it's like 3 points. So right now, we're going to go out to eat. The bill's $1,000, whatever.
Yeah.
The platinum or the gold?
Like what you order, bro? Like
bottles. We got to tip the waitresses. You know what I mean? No.
Yeah.
So let's just say right now, the platinum is 5 points for airfare, 1 point for everything else. The gold, 4 points for food and restaurants and groceries, and then 1 point for everything else. Just to say, what would you do knowing that we just had to pay for the bill?
Amex.
Which one, the gold or the platinum?
Gold.
Right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, hey, let's go away. Let's go to like Japan.
Yeah.
The tickets are, let's say, $1,000.
You book it, I'll pay you at some point in time.
Yeah, exactly. And I get the points off him when he pays me now. So basically, how much is that ticket? Let's say it's $1,200, $1,500, whatever. The gold will give me 1 point or 3 points, depending on the thing, or the other one will give me 5 points.
You get the platinum.
Exactly. So that's why I treat every single card. The Chase has some good ones too, where they're 3 points.
Oh yeah, Chase Preferred.
Yeah, I have the Chase Preferred as well. The Chase Preferred will give me 3 points for food. So let's just say, because Amex is a big company, but sometimes some restaurants will take it because of the merchant fees.
Right?
So then I'll go to my second one, which is 3X. And every bank the big 4 banks are Amex, Chase, Citi, and Capital One when it comes to the travel game. They all give you something called points. But these points are flexible, which means you could use them for credit on your bill, cash back, travel, hotels, gift cards.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can go shopping, like you can buy like their own shopping portal. You can buy like Apple products or whatever you like.
Right.
Versus other cards, you're just like, oh, it's cash back. It's only used for cash. Other cards are only used for co-branded cards. If you have a Hilton card, cool. You went to Marriott, it doesn't do anything for Marriott. It only helps you with Hilton, which is why I like these cards because they're flexible. I can turn them into stuff. And for my travel hacking, they give me points and I can use these points with whatever relationships they have with their airlines. So if I have 100,000 points, I can convert that to 100,000 miles to whatever one of their partners. Chase has 10, Amex has 14, Capital One has 12.
Yeah.
Citi, some of them share them. So like if I want to, like I'm gonna give you a free gem, right? Let's say I want to go to Miami, right? From New York, we're in New York, JFK to Miami, let's say American, right? I can go on the Amex portal, the Chase portal, might say, oh, 20,000 points to go there. All right, cool, I have 20,000 points. Or I can use their transfer partner, right? And they both share the same transfer partner, which is British Airways. And British Airways is in the same alliance called One World with American Airlines. So you're basically using their partnership to get on the plane. So I can go on AmericanAirlines.com and I can see like, oh, it's going to cost 12,000 points for the same flight, same time.
Yeah.
So that's a better deal than the 20 or the 15. British Airways, I can get on that same flight for 9,000 points. and I only pay the tax, and the tax is $5.60. And sometimes they give you transfer bonuses, like, hey, right now British Airways is doing a bonus of 30%. So you take 9,000 divided by 1.3, and that's going to show you need to transfer in 7,000 points. So while you went on Chase or Amex paid 20,000, someone else paid 18,000, I paid 7,000 to be on the same exact flight. And if you look at, let's say, eating, so let's say 7,000 divided by 4. That means you've had to spend $1,700, because remember, $1,700 times 4, 7,000, which basically a year comes out to, if you spend $145 a month, you're printing that many points. Divide that by 4, $36 a week of just any type of food and restaurant for the rest of the year, you can get a free flight to Miami.
I'm sure nothing. I'm sure there's people who have a lot of benefits in their cards, and they don't even use all the benefits. I
had a situation with a client, and I know they're like, damn, my flight was delayed. I'm like, that happens to me too, man. He said, what card you use to pay with? Oh, my Amex. I'm like, it comes with trip delay insurance. He's like, what does that mean? If your flight is longer than 6 hours, they reimburse you. So I sent my claim. I showed him how I did it to AIG, because that's the service that helped with Amex. Because remember, Amex is 5 points, so I used my Amex.
Yep.
I was delayed for more than 6 hours. I sent them my stuff. I used my Amex to pay for that flight. They sent me a check for my flight.
See?
But you didn't know that. Like, all right, cool. I just got delayed.
Seriously. And I'm sure a lot of people, including myself, I'm like, you have these credit cards, you only focus on certain things like, dinner, points on dinner or groceries. And then the stuff that you can leverage with airlines and stuff like that, and reimbursements. People don't use it. They don't take advantage because they don't take the time to learn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So that's why I realized there were, like, to me, I speak like it's like, hey, what's 1 + 1?
Yeah.
But I didn't know there was a big gap, which is what got me into this. I'm like, I want to start teaching. I want to start courses, mentorships, and just hold you by the hand. Like, look, this is what I want to do. And then just like teach you. Like, I want to do a travel mentorship. Like, all right, guys, I'm going to take 15 students, pay this much. It'll be 6 weeks. We do a Zoom. And then I can guarantee you at least $800 to $1,000 in savings, or if not more.
Yeah.
And guarantee you, and I'll hold you by the hand. Like, all right, where do you want to fly?
Right.
I'm going to go on the computer. You're going to watch me. Like, all right, cool. Now you do it. And then you're going to see, or I can help you with a card to pick that fits your lifestyle. I like for instance, tax time's around the corner. Right?
Yeah.
Let's say you owe 10, 20, 30K. You have to pay the IRS.
It happens, yeah.
You have to, right? That's a high number if you make good money, sorry. But but like, let's say you owe 8,000, right? I wish, but let's say you owe 8,000, right? You're gonna spend 8,000, but what are you getting in return?
No Joe time.
No, Joe. Yeah,
okay.
But like, you're gonna spend the money. What do you get? You get nothing in
Nothing.
return, right? So I can be like, you know what? Let me look. I always do this. Okay, what sign-up bonus is coming around the corner? Okay, cool. It says spend 6,000 in 4 months or 3 months, you get 80,000 points. Boom. Spend.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I spend 8,000. I got my 80,000 points.
Yeah.
And then I used the 80,000 points to get a first class ticket to Singapore, which cost 10,000. And then I got to 10,000 for free.
So on that type of topic and that note, tell us, like, what was the sickest trip you've booked using one of your top premium credit cards? Because the people want to know, like, a lot of people think they need to have all this money to have a crazy lifestyle. You can actually have a crazy lifestyle just by the simple choices of getting a credit card, right?
Yeah,
so like, what was the
being
sickest,
responsible,
being responsible and not trying to fly every girl out to see you. Because
but if you got the money and you're flying every girl out, then use the card and you'll get points to fly more girls out.
And they'll think you're a big baller. but again, you do it once, you gotta do it again and again and again. So be prepared for that.
Yeah, but if you're trying to be a baller on the budget, hit me up. I'll help you out. You know what I mean?
So all you celebrities out there, right?
Yeah.
You don't gotta spend your own money. Just contact my boy Bams, Dr. Bams, and he got you. So what's the craziest trip you've taken with credit card benefits?
I would say I went to Brazil. I did American, but I kind of did like a weird a gem thing. So like, most people don't know this, right?
A weird gem thing?
I'm gonna show you, right? So
go ahead.
When you book a flight, if you want to book business class, it costs more money. Let's say we're gonna leave 3 months from now. If you book business, it's expensive.
Yeah.
But then if you wait like the day of the flight, they'll say, hey, anyone want to upgrade to this early? They give you like that check-in and you can see how you get it cheaper. So then I actually called and I was like, I was curious about, booking this flight.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to fly business. Okay. Is there any seats? Like, there's like 2 or 3. How much? Okay. Waited the day before. I called someone, rizzed the fuck out of her. Like, yo, I want to go. It's my birthday. Bullshit. How much is a one-way ticket? Oh, if you live at this day, the one-way is cheaper coming back, not going there. All right, cool. How much? $300. I was like, all right, $300 for a business flight one way? No problem.
Oh, so you do just 2 separate flights?
Yeah, because you always to save your points. So then I got there. And then you can use your points to upgrade it as well. And you can look at the cash value. But because you booked one flight, they're going to give you another promo like, yo, do you want to get your other leg business? And they were charging me $350. So I paid $1,600 for business class from here to Rio. And I had a $400 credit from American. So I ended up paying like $1,200 for business class for like round trip nonstop. And American Airlines, I mean,
do it well.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't, because I could have used points, but I was like, yo, $1,200 for that's a steal. That's a $5,000 flight that I got for $1,200. You know, and the experience is different. You go to the airport. I got in separate lounge. Not the lounge, separate entrance for you to even check in your bag.
Right.
I had like priority booking and stuff. I mean, I still have global entry and clear. But then like I felt bad because I was trying to like go in the line. There's some lady came in a wheelchair and they're like, oh, no, you go first because you have that. Skip, go into the lounge. I'm just getting drunk, eating for free. And if you have the Amex Platinum, the Sapphire, the Capital Venture X, the premium cards.
The lounges are really dope.
The lounge, I literally get to the airport like 4 hours early. I just lounge hop and just get blasted.
I never make it to the airport early ever. I'm always like the guy who's running with his luggage and just makes it to the long ass line.
No, but the thing is, if you have global entry or clear, you skip all that.
Oh, that's true. Oh, okay. That's
and then these cards come with that benefit for free. Like I got back from Rio, I got back from DR, and I had a global entry. From my plane to the Uber, it took 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Like no exaggeration. There was like 4 different planes.
So it really pays just to have the right card, bro.
Well, remember, these cards, if you have them, they give it to you for free. It comes with the membership.
Wow.
So you're getting free this. But most people are like, no, I don't want to pay for that. I'm like, all right, then don't pay the annual fee. Like when my friends are like, yo, let's travel together. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to wait for you. I'm going straight to the lounge. You don't have lounge access? Well, I'll just meet you. You know, like I'm not.
Yeah.
But, and then I would say Singapore Airlines.
That was a sick trip.
Yo.
I've never been, bro.
I've
always heard it's, especially for people who do business. I'm like, okay, I'm going to check it out.
It was a 20-hour flight.
Jesus.
So, it was 20 hours because I went to the Philippines. It was 20 hours to Singapore, and Singapore to the Philippines, like 3 or 4. So then I was like, all right, got on there, and everyone's like, what are you gonna do for 20 hours? I was like, bro, I fell asleep for like 10. I was just getting ripped on like Australian wine and eating cheese and dessert, and I watched like a Fast 5 movie, which is like 4 hours in itself, and a Marvel, and I was already home, bro. I slept face down, drooling. It was
best flight,
bro. Beautiful. The one I want to do next is Singapore's first class. They have like a whole section, like a bed and a couch.
Yeah.
And then I want to do Emirates because of the bar. I want to get the content being on the bar, having the whole bed. Like, like I'm saving my points for those big
trips.
Like no, not the big trips. The dope airlines. Those airlines that look like they're just plush.
How was Singapore though? I've heard different things. Like I heard it's very, very strict.
It is strict. Like I didn't.
Fun.
Yeah, you can't even chew gum. I didn't know that was like a rule.
Can't chew gum?
It's illegal to chew gum and to spit on the street. Like I remember I was in the airport talking to some girl from Germany. I was like, just talking, hey, you want some gum? And she looked at me like I was trying to hand her like crack or something in the middle of the airport or something like that. She's like, well, you can't chew gum. And I looked it up. Yeah, you can't.
She did this.
She's like, no, like, I was like, yo, you want some cracker? Like, she was like, we don't do that here. So it was, I did not know that. Like, you can't, like, you can probably chew it in your own house, but you can't spit out the floors. Everything is super clean.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, I recommend, once again, it's your points or your discretion. But if you're going to fly 10, 12, 15.
First class?
Yeah.
Let's do first class.
You get a whole bed.
I remember we went to Nigeria was pretty far. I went to Germany, that was pretty far. I went to Dubai, that was pretty far. But we didn't have the beds, we just had the regular. And
economy, yeah.
It was still cool, It was still cool.
Those airlines are completely different airlines. They're super nice. Even the economy.
Yeah.
But like, if you're not a first class person, don't discourage you.
You gotta definitely do it at least once.
But once you do it once, you're like, I either need more points or I need more money. The life is completely.
Now you're just spending it to get the points.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but if you're a person who was like, listen, I don't want to do first class. Let's say a first class ticket might cost 80,000 points. That's your whole welcome bonus or whatever. But that can also get you 4 or 5 economy trips. So the value is up to you what you want to do. You know what I mean? Or let's just say you got a family. You know. I had one client sign up and he was like, listen, I spend this much money. He's like, you got 3 kids. I'm like, all right, how much do you spend a month on groceries? This much a month. Times that by that. Just from the Amex Gold, you'll be getting 40 or 50,000 points just from feeding your kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Because the average household is like $1,200 a month.
Yeah. And then times that by 12, times 4, you know what I mean? Like, and then you get the sign-up bonus because most credit cards, the easiest way to get points is hit a sign-up bonus. Spend 3K, 4K, 6K, whatever them out, and they give you like 60, 80, whatever thousand points. Plus the regular spend. He's like, you're going to get 100,000 points, more than 100 the first year.
Yeah.
He said, what can I get with that? I'm like, bro, you're going to get that from spending food or groceries. that can at least cover one way for your kids, another way a round trip, or if you leave the kids, you and the wife want to go somewhere nice.
Yeah.
But either way, like you're spending the money anyway. What are you getting back in return?
Right.
You take your kids to Disney, that's a free flight to Disney. You know, I said, wow. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna save that much money anyway. So like, you're getting something back. A flight can cost what to Disney $400 or $500. You got 3 kids, your wife, that's money. But like, you got a free flight for doing.
Like as a husband, you will look like superhero because they're like, oh my god, how'd you do this? Well, make it look easy. Like I just swipe my card.
Yeah, I'm a baller. You know what I mean? Like,
so crazy. Just to switch topics, just crazy. So like, there's a big myth out there.
Yeah.
For the folks who have like health issues, they go to the hospital, they come back with a big ass bill, and they say, "Damn, man, am I gonna pay? Should I pay this off? Is it gonna hurt my credit if I don't pay it off?" Like talk about
collections.
That. Like,
all right. So
is that a myth that we can calm down and say, "Hey, look, your credit's not gonna be hurt," or is it that you got to pay off the bill no matter what? Like,
all right. So when it comes to collections, once again, this is my
disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
You make your own decisions.
Make your own
We're just
decisions,
talking about it. Go ahead.
So they're actually making a new law right now saying that after May 2024, they're no longer allowed to put medical like debt onto credit report because of what COVID is happening.
Okay.
Once again, it's not signed, it's not there. This is the legend.
Right.
Actually, last year they made a rule: any medical debt under 400 or 500, let's say 500, that's reported on your credit report shouldn't be there, and you can get that off immediately.
Wow.
And anything more than 400 or 500, it can't be there until 1 year from the late date of service. So if you didn't pay it last month, it's illegal for them to do that. So because I know the rules and the regulations, I'll be like, all right, cool. And they'll be like, oh, but what do I do? I'm like, listen, you ever heard of HIPAA? They're violating this. Like, how do they know you did this? So someone,
Right.
So you can use that because under $400, it can't be on there. Like I had clients like, oh, I have this. I'm like, bro, that's an easy fix. Boom, boom, boom. You still owe the money because a lot of people don't know about this collections. All right.
Yeah.
Collections, how it works. This is how it works, right? Let's say we'll use AT&T, right? Your cell phone bills, let's say $100. I don't know. After it's like 30 days late. After 30 days, they mark a late payment 30 days. Then it goes to 60. Then it goes to 90, 120. After that, they'll kind of send it to collections, which basically means the company is taking a loss. There's a difference between a charge off where they're going to do it on like a tax purposes on a profit and loss, because that's another conversation. But for collections, let's just say like, you know what? You owe me $400.
Yeah. I'm
going to sell it to this company for, I'm just making this number up again, $100. The collection company comes, buys the debt for $100. They own the rights to the debt. They attack your credit. They report your credit and it goes down. So a lot of people have these misconceptions like, yo, I'm going to pay off my collections. Why you want to do that? Because I want to improve my credit. Most people don't know that. So they pay off the collection in hopes that it improves your credit.
Yeah.
But it just changes the balance from owing 500 to now 0. And when someone pulls your credit report, they're going to say, okay, he paid his debt off, or he or she paid his debt off. The balance is low, but the negative status of it going to collections is what's hurting you.
Okay.
So what I tell people is like, don't pay your debt. Or, I saw something on TikTok. I'm like, no. I'm not saying don't pay your debt because it's like you shouldn't pay it. Because if that's the case, no one would pay their debt in the country. Would be
it's going to show anyway. So what's the point? So even if you pay it off. Right?
Yeah. So the what I tell people is not because I'm trying to sell something. It's like in the credit realm, you want to dispute the validity of the debt because there's a term. It's called you want to see something's valid, timely, and accurate, or call it AVT, right? We basically, in the credit repair industry, we use the FCRA, which is the laws, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. We use the laws that have to be accurate, timely, and verifiable, right? And if it can't do that after 30 days, it has to be removed off your credit report. That's how I use the laws to dispute all these things. That's how it works.
Guys, know the laws. You'll be well ahead in this life.
Yeah. So that's how we do the credit report.
Wow.
Right. Mm-hmm. So what happens is when you pay collections, you're basically paying them to fix your credit, but it doesn't fix your credit. It just makes the balance 0, which is good. You still owe the money, right? But because the collections bought it at like a fraction of the cost, they're going to make a profit on that difference. So what you do is I try to challenge and, see how valid and everything is, get the negative remark off the report so it doesn't show it, like kind of like getting expunged.
Right.
And then you still owe the money, but now that leverage of them running your credit's off. So you can go to a collection company and say, hey, I know I owe you 500. Would you settle for 250 or 2 something? And then some of them will, some of them won't. Mm-hmm. So now you just got the debt off for almost half. I had a client that owed $10K after the repair program. They're willing to settle with me. You know, like, oh, one of them says they're going to sue me. Okay, that's the one you want to pay out first. But the ones that are not, like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not saying you're going to pay everyone off, but like you
yeah.
owe 10K, she ended up paying 4.
So wait, let's dive into that, right? So if somebody comes to you, say, hey, look, I have credit issues. Like, how do you walk them through fixing their credit? Like, what's your process?
So all right, I'll put it like this, right? If you're a potential client, you got questions. I can't help you if I don't know what's wrong with your credit.
Right.
And most people go, oh, here's my Credit Karma. I'm like, look, that's not your credit score. Credit Karma is a marketing agency that gives you a credit score, which is called the Vantage 3.0, which gives you your credit score. But most lenders use FICO. You know what I mean?
FICO score.
They use FICO, but Credit Karma's Vantage. So what Credit Karma does, and I actually had a big lawsuit, they were basically telling you, hey, Harry, you're approved for this card. You apply, you get denied. So they're giving false pretenses of that. So that's what happened with
So they're saying, oh, I have good credit. I go apply, I get denied. I'm like, what the F?
Yeah.
Oh, but your FICO score.
But this is a Vantage score.
Yeah, oh, your Vantage score. But your real score.
It's like someone coming from vacation. Oh, here's Mexican pesos. I'm like, cool, this is America. We need dollars. It's still currency, but it's not enough for what we need.
Right.
But so the thing is that like your Vantage score is still a credit score. They're both credit models.
Yeah.
They're just different calculations, different formulas, different percentages.
Yeah.
Majority of lenders use a FICO score. Like 95% of them. No one really uses Vantage. Some do, but majority of lenders use FICO scores. Yeah. So which is why if you get your FICO score and your Vantage score, they're gonna be different. So your credit card, but they use the same information, payment history, utilization, just different percentages of it. So if you're late and you have a collection on one, you're gonna have it on both. So that doesn't matter. But Credit Karma shows you a free score, which is your Vantage score. So when someone tells me, hey, here's my Credit Karma, I'm like, yeah, they're showing Equifax and TransUnion. What about Experian?
Right.
You know, I need to see what's going on. So I work with a company, I have a good relationship with it called Score Tribe. They're a credit monitoring service, right? It's like a free, you know, they give you monitoring service, you pay $24 a month. They give you, you know, insurance up to $1 million, you know, just a monitoring service, give you alerts if anything happens.
Right.
And they compare all three. So because I have a relationship with them, they give me a free 7-day trial. So let's just say, hey, Harry, let me look at your score. Cool. Sign up here. You create a username and password, right? Then I ask you questions like, okay, you know, put your name, your social, verify who you are. Like, oh, did you ever live here? You ever took a loan out? Just to see who you are. Then they give you the 3 raw scores. Then I'll be like, hey, text me your username and password. I'll hop on a Zoom call. I'll go line by line and be like, you know, because the people didn't know they had fraud. Like, oh, I didn't know. I had one guy I'm still in the process of working with. I'm like, dude, how many cars you have? He's like, why? I was like, you have all these inquiries of like cars. Like, I don't have any. I bought them cash. I'm like, dude, someone went ham on your shit.
Wow.
But he didn't. No one looked at it. You know what I mean?
So you recommend people checking their credit score, like
hell yeah,
like the full report, like the full, like often.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey guys, free advice: when you have some time, make sure you check your credit report.
Because some people don't even know, like you had collections, or maybe you paid, or you thought you paid it.
Yeah.
And your thought doesn't matter if it's on the report. Is that now you try to go buy a house or a car,
Right.
or you're like, oh, why am I not getting approved?
Yeah.
Now you have more negative increase because you didn't get approved. You know. So if you're a new client, you know, I'd be like, listen, so, you know, do this so I can look at your score. It's like me saying, hey man, I broke down my car. Can you fix it? Yeah. You didn't even pop the hood to look what's wrong with it. No, but I can fix. Like, look, I'm a doctor. I'm a physical therapist. If something's wrong with you, my back hurts. All right, cool. Let me examine you. Let me see what's up. I'm not gonna be, all right, cool. You're good.
Get your diagnostics and me look into it.
Yeah, I need to look at what's going on. I gotta ask you, you know, because people are like, oh, I never did that. I'm like, bro, it's okay if things happen. Life happens. There's stories. I got clients who took out a loan to help their family, and their family's just not paying them back, and the loan's in their name. Got co-signed. I have all. Listen, I've heard everything.
Right.
I'm not here to judge you, because if you need help, first off, a lot of people don't want to get help with credit because they're embarrassed. They don't know anything.
Yeah.
So they don't want to admit. I had friends who are like, look, man, I was embarrassed to even show you my score. I'm like, bro, I'm here to. Like, if you hurt your back, you'd be like, yo, I was embarrassed. You go to your dentist, like, yo, I don't want to come because I was embarrassed my tooth hurt. Like, no, you're there for help. I'm there to financially guide you and help you through the situation. I'm not a financial advisor.
Yeah.
You know, but I look at your score and I tell you, look, this is what's going on. These are my recommendations. I'm actually working on a do-it-yourself credit repair kit. I'm still trying to like organize it. Okay. So I can give it to people.
Is that like an app, or are we talking about like something that
like I'm gonna download an ebook or download a course? I'm like, hey, look, this is it. I'm gonna do videos. I'm gonna give you all the templates. You do whatever you want. But then people were like, I gave it to some clients like, yo, this is a lot, man. I don't know how to do this.
Oh, because they're lazy. They don't want to.
No, but it could be a lot. Like, you know, like you could do your own taxes. You can change your own oil. You can get your own haircut. Doesn't mean you should do it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, look, if you want to do it, it's there. But if you want me to do it hands off, I'll do all the work for you and just give you updates. But some people are like, oh, I don't want to pay for that. All right, cool. But then like, yo, it's just mad. I don't know how to do this. Yeah. Like you're in a situation where you're like, hey, I want to buy a house. I don't know how to get I didn't know I need to get these permits, you know, or I can just pay you. You get everything done. I just come in like, it's the same service. You know, like I tell people like you can either save money and put the time in to learn what I learned, or you pay and you just use my knowledge and I do it for you. It's whatever you want, because I had clients where they didn't have any credit issues. They just had utilization issues. I just need education. Like, I'm not going to charge you for credit repair. There's nothing to repair. You know what I mean? My company's called Honest Credit Solutions for that reason. So then, and then I have clients like, look, what is your goal? I want to buy a house. Boy, I went next month. I'm like, bro, there's no way I'm fixing your credit by next month. You have a 410. There's no way. Like, I don't even trust your cash. You feel me? So it's just like
how you gonna pay me?
I did a budget with somebody.
Has that ever happened to you where somebody's like, I want to hire you, and they have such bad credit of paying?
So I do a budget thing because most people don't know how to budget.
Right.
And this person's like, all right, so how much you making a month? Sit down, do the budget, we review it. So I make $6,000 a month. Cool. How much do you spend? $8,000. I'm like, bro, you can't even afford your bills. I can't afford to pay. And no, listen, just get your stuff in order. You have my number. Or some people like, I made bad investments. I try to do some stock stuff, some crypto stuff, or they might invest with DJ Envy and get scammed. You know what I mean? So just like,
hey, disclaimer. Hey, this is a disclaimer. We're just,
you know what I mean? Like
talking about what's in the news, right?
You know what I mean? So it's just like, damn, bro, that happened to you, but it's still on your report. I got to fix it.
Right.
So then it happens. So I tell people like, look, this is a situation. I'm here to help you, but I still got to, make a living. But whenever you're ready, cool, call me if not. And then, but a lot of people like, they're emotional. I want to buy a car. I need a car now. I'm like, bro, you're paying. I had a client tell me, he didn't want to do it. I'm like, mathematically, you don't know what you're doing. You're paying $800 for a used Honda Civic. Nothing wrong with Hondas. A 2018 Honda Civic. His credit score was a 495 and his interest is 24% on 20%. A car loan.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, that's $800. You might as well get a Beamer, something. Nothing wrong with paying $100.
Right.
But for a used Honda Civic,
I'm not gonna lie. That's something my pops taught me. He's like, I remember one time I was looking to buy a car and I was thinking similar to like a Honda or whatever.
There's nothing wrong with Honda, but I'm not paying $800.
There's nothing wrong with it. But my dad was like, you can just spend a little bit more and get like a Benz or something. I'm like, what? Yeah, like look at the freaking math. I'm like, oh,
it's just the math. No one ever does the math, or they think I'm trying to trick them. You know what I mean? And I'm like, look, you do realize it's cheaper to pay me to fix your credit. You refinance from 24 to even 10. Yeah. Mathematically, that's 14%.
Yeah.
And your monthly payment will be less. Same thing with mortgages. It's just no one wants to do the math, and they just think because they've gotten scammed. They think I'm trying to scam them. I'm like, bro, I'm not just use the calculator, Google all this stuff, and come back to me. I'm not like I make no money if I scam you. Like if you're, and people are like, or another client's like, I don't know if I trust you with my information. I'm like, bro, you have a 500 credit score. There's nothing I can steal.
Yeah, right.
I can't open
Obviously,
anything in your name.
You've done things that are not worth knowing.
It's just. But look, I'm not trying to knock the situation. I'm like, I'm here trying to help you. Like, you making money. Like, I had one client, bro. It's the craziest thing. She's like, listen, I'm grateful. I got all my stuff down. I'm able to buy a house because of you with my son. I'm like, that's like, all right, cool. Like, if I'm doing therapy and someone's walking, I feel good. Like, yo, this is why I did this. And she's like, yo, I'm about to buy a house because of you. I wouldn't have been here without you. And I'm like, oh, that makes me feel good. Like, I'm happy about that. Right. But everyone's emotional. It takes time. People are like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm like, look, right now the market is 8% for a house with good credit.
Yeah.
So if you got bad credit, you're probably looking at 10 or 12%.
But the crazy part too, years ago, it was way, way higher than 8%.
It was like 13, 15%. Yeah.
So
it's that we're used to that 3% from the news from during COVID.
Yeah. So I know we talk about a whole bunch of cars. What's your top travel car, by the way? Like your number one travel car? Because I have a car that I was thinking about.
All right. So the top 3 premium cards was Chase, Amex, and Capital Venture X.
Right.
I like Amex.
Number one, though. Give me your number one car right now. Go-to car
for travel.
For travel. Best traveling car. The best benefits. Put you on the spot, man.
I'll be honest. I like Amex.
Amex,
my platinum.
Over the venture capital.
Well, I don't have the venture card. It's on my list next. The problem I don't have it is because unfortunately, when you apply with Capital One, they run all 3 bureaus. So on your score, you have 3 different inquiries. With Amex, you get 1. They pull Experian on the East Coast.
Okay.
So does Chase. So I want the Venture X because it gives you a flat 2 points for every dollar spent.
Okay.
Amex gives me 5, so it beats it. But for everything else, it's 1. So the 2X works. It's all about everyday use.
Right.
For everyday use, the Venture X kills it because it's 2 points no matter what. It's a cheaper annual fee and it gives you the same value. But Amex has a $695 annual fee, $200 for airline credit, hotel, $240 for Uber, $240 for entertainment like ESPN, Hulu, Peacock, whatever.
Yeah.
The hotel credits, the global entry, they give you the sign-up bonus, they give you clear. So if you took out all that mathematics and you added up the value of the card every year, if you use everything, is giving me $1,500 worth of spend. And they're charging me $690. So either way, I'll make my money back.
Right.
And the way I use the points on Amex, the only negative thing about Amex overseas is that in a lot of countries outside of the United States don't take Amex. If you're in Europe or, So I bring my Amex and my Visa or MasterCard, because MasterCard and Visa are accepted everywhere. So Amex gets me into the lounges and the backup for food and everything. Visa is that. Yeah. So
okay.
I use strategically both, because Amex Platinum, Chase Sapphire Reserve, or the Capital Venture X, they all give you lounge access. So one of those cards is a must if you're a big traveler. If you want lounges, if you don't like lounges and you want to pay $10 a water bottle at the airport, then they go buy any, you know what I mean? Then whatever.
So another myth, they say if you apply it to a credit card, your credit card, your credit score goes down. Is that true or not?
Correct. So
why is that? Yeah.
So anytime you look for a loan, where they have to run your credit, whether it's a credit card, loan, mortgage, car, you have something called inquiries or new credit. It takes a ding in that department of the credit score, but it's only 10% of your score. So mathematically, you might lose 5 to 10 points, but then after a year, that effect goes away, and after 2 years, it falls off your report per inquiry. But whether you get approved or not, you still get that inquiry.
So if I'm getting 5 cards, I'm getting dinged every single time.
Yes, but then it kind of so it's weird the way the score works. And new inquiry, you're getting hit. Your credit age, you're getting hit, but your utilization now goes up because now you have a whole income of limit added on. So your overall limit goes higher, right? Your credit mix or the new types of accounts goes higher.
Right.
So where you're dinging your score on one area, you're actually increasing another. So with time, then eventually that falls off. Now your credit's getting better. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's that's why I tell my clients, like, you might see this and be like, listen, I want to get the Amex now because you promoted it. Doesn't mean you're gonna get approved. These top tier travel cards, you need at least a 740 or higher to get approved. Amex and certain they're a relationship bank. If your credit's not good, start off with their low tier card, get into it for a year or two. Then, because you have a relationship with them in good standing, they'll approve you without giving you inquiry. A lot of people don't know that. So I always tell people, like, don't go for the Amex Platinum just to get it. Like, work your way. If you have any questions, if you're following me, DM me. I have no problem helping you out. Yeah, man, boom, it's just free.
And you're very responsive. Like, I hear all the time, people hit you up and you respond right away. So definitely getting in
I don't
DMs
listen. I don't charge
questions.
anyone for anything because this year is all about value.
Bam.
Once I bring my the credit repair service is different, but like
he charges you like
no, but like when it comes to the travel hacking, like I want to teach, but everyone learns differently. You know what I mean?
Right.
You travel, so you understand what I'm saying. But someone who might not know this, like what's global entry or what's why is that important? But once I start dropping my courses, so I always tell people now, look, follow me now, grab my free stuff now, because once I'm stable, I'm charging. I'm sorry, you know what I mean. But
when you're good at something, you'll do it for free.
Yeah, but I want to help people because everyone's like, I want to travel like you, and anyone can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you don't want to travel because you can't afford it, like right now, people are going to spend money from now to Valentine's or Thanksgiving or whatever. Most card offers are 3 to 6 months. So as long as you're going to spend the money and you open a card and you get the sign-up bonus, by next year, I'll help you get a free flight somewhere.
Jeez.
Somewhere, bro.
So many gems, man. I know you travel a lot. So for the single dudes out there, what's and don't give it too many secrets. What's some of the places that you think is like meant for guys? Well, girls too, if you want. But what's a place that you say, if you're single, here's a place I recommend and why? Without giving too much. Go ahead.
Depends what you like.
Well, that's enough, guys.
No. Because I'm saying, like, listen, man, not my race or gender.
Yeah,
you like ahead. Asians, I wouldn't go to Africa. You like Africa, I want to go to Europe. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on what you like.
Right.
You like Spanish girls, they're not going to find them in Africa. You like black girls, you're not going to find them in South America. I'm a bang for dollar kind of guy.
Okay.
Where the dollar goes strong. Colombia, Brazil.
Okay.
All of South America.
You got to go to Brazil, man.
Brazil, Carnival. If you haven't done it in your life, go to...
When is that? Is that
February? February, yeah.
Bro.
I went this year and I went in 2019 before COVID.
Right, we're going next year.
Yeah.
Me and you, we're going next year.
Dude, it's insane. I spent $1,500 for 2 weeks, everything. Airfare, Airbnb.
How's the food out there?
Really good. I mean, if you're a big meat eater, the rodizio and stuff like that.
Yeah. A lot of pork eating?
No, a lot of a lot bit of everything. But the food's good, man. The partying is insane. Colombia, I'm biased because I'm Spanish. Colombia, amazing.
Yeah, learn. Do you have to speak Spanish to go to Colombia?
It helps.
It helps.
It helps.
Okay.
You don't have to. I mean, some girls will look at you, you've got money, whatever, but like it definitely helps. You won't get ripped off as much. I mean,
Is it safe?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Every country has its risk.
Even United States, you go to Brooklyn, it's crazy.
Yeah. I wouldn't go flashing and stunning with jewels. You're drawing attention.
Okay.
You can, but if
you
you
look like a local,
I would try. But even then, man, they
know you're.
You go to Africa, you'd be like, even if you're like, then you can just tell.
I did try it, but
it's like,
it's not working.
No one gets your shape up like you're definitely from America. You know what I mean? But you have the new iPhone. You're definitely, you know what I mean? Things are like, you know what gave it away? I was like, what makes you think I'm a tourist? I'm like, you're wearing shorts. No one wears shorts. Everyone wears jeans. I'm like, bro, it's 95 degrees. Like people wear jeans still. All right, that's a clear.
That's funny.
But yeah, bang for dollar, close. If you're on the East Coast, DR, Mexico.
What about a place that what's a place that you went to? You're like, damn, it wasn't really that. I didn't think I had such high hopes, but damn, man.
I don't know, man. That's a good question. I kind of go places where I have a great time. I went to Kenya last year. It was different.
I saw that. I saw your page.
It was different because like I'm used to beachy stuff. I mean, there are beaches. I didn't go to Mombasa, but like I did more of safari, more city stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a different experience. I mean, it was still great. It's super cheap. The cheapest place I would say would be Asia, Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia?
Bali, Indonesia, Thailand,
I've never been to Bali,
Philippines. Bro. These are long flights, but dude, I was getting massages for like $8 with tip.
Wow.
For an hour. And it was just like every day I was like, bro.
What do you mean tip?
Like just a tip is a little bit more. No, but just like yo, $8. And they're like, oh, thank you for giving me like $2.
Right.
Yeah. Food, it just depends what you're into. Like Thai food's awesome, It's just that the thing with Asia, you have the time change. It's a 12-hour difference. You have the long flight and the jet lag.
Yeah.
So at least do 2 weeks. But quick weekend, I don't know, man. It's funny. A lot of people have been asking me, like, yo, I want you to set up a Brazil trip or a Colombia trip or a DR trip. I'm like, But get enough people, maybe I'll just be like, do like a mastermind where we just all learn and talk stuff, but we just do it overseas. And be like, yo, you got to be in the mastermind. You got to take the points to get there. And then we just ball out, we get a mansion.
That's smart.
Just, because most people like, I go to these areas a lot. Like I can go by myself. So when it comes to safety, if you're with me, you're good. No one's gonna rob. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you start going into like, but like there's rules and regulations with any country. But if you're a bachelor, DR, Colombia, Brazil, Southeast Asia, Ecuador is nice too. Ecuador right now, actually stay away. It's a little dangerous.
You said Ecuador is dangerous?
Right now, it's a big cartel stuff going on. The last guy that was running for president got killed. So it's just like, man. It's right now probably not a good idea, but it's also cheap. I'm actually doing Peru for Thanksgiving. Try something different. I definitely want to try South Africa next year. I really want to like.
I've heard good things, but I heard bad things too.
The dollar and the rand, the currency is like $1.14 or 15 of there. So I'm like, that's.
To be honest, like I don't know if I was listening to maybe Joe Rogan or somebody else, but he was talking about South Africa about how like it's racist out there, And again, I have to do my own research, but this is just what I heard. Like, back in the day, like the Nazis, when they migrated out of Germany, a lot of them went to South Africa.
Yeah, and Argentina. Yeah.
So it's like you go there, and it's like
oh really?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why they say it's kind of like racist.
Oh shit!
I didn't know fun fact, But wrapping it up, we have one more thing. Give the audience one piece of advice when it comes to credit. Like, what's one thing that they should know?
If you're young, start early. Open up a card, just get in there and build it up because it comes with time. Another gem, if your family has good credit, tell them to add you as an authorized user so you get a little boost of their history. If you're looking at business, there's certain credit cards you can use that are 0%. If you need 10, 20, 30, 50K, you end up with 2 or 3 cards, strategically.
Right.
Get that in 0% APR, use that to fund your business, pay that back. And if you have money and you're responsible, get a card with cash back or points because you're just printing points. You know what I mean? Like right now, my spending limit on my Amex is 100K, right? I can spend 100K. If I had 100K right now, I can borrow it on credit. And if you're like, yo, we're going to do an investment. Cool. I'm going to borrow credit, keep paying the monthly payment, whatever, because it's cheaper than my cash is using for another side, And with credit, it's important because if you want to get a house, a car, the more credit you have, the more extensive credit you have, banks will just give you money. That's the whole point of it. You want to use other people's money to fund
everything,
not yours. Nothing wrong with using yours, but if you have 100K and you use it all in an investment, and another investment comes, your money's tied.
Right.
But if you're on a loan, you just pay, like, let's say interest is 10%, right? But my investment is returning 14. I'm making 4% profit on the bank's money, and I can use my other money for something else, or liquidate another card, open up another loan. You know, that would be the secret of it. But in America, credit is key for everything, everything. So fix your credit.
It was in Jay-Z's line.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we try to squeeze as much as possible, but hey, so where can they find you again? What's your handle that they can reach you at?
So it's Dr. Bams, Dr.BAMS_ Dr. Bams. And follow me. I'm posting some videos. I'm going to start doing more. I'm trying to work on the ebooks and free videos to give people gems.
Right.
And then if you're interested, just DM me, like, listen, I want to learn this. I'll make a video on what you want, because I don't know. I know so much. I don't know what people don't know. So if you tell me what you don't, I'll make a video on that tomorrow. You know.
So
what I mean?
hey guys, make that comment, write and subscribe, but make the comment on what else you guys want to see. Maybe we'll reach out to Bams and he'll teach you guys what you guys want to know. But we appreciate you,
Absolutely,
man.
bro. Thanks for having me, man. I had a great
super,
time.
super helpful. I know for sure I'll be rewinding and doing the math, making sure that I can take advantage of what you were able to offer. So again, guys, we love your time. We love your views. Like and subscribe and continue to follow us, because as we grow, you grow. So thank you guys for joining. This is the Social Path. We love you. Take care, everybody.
We are creating a path for you to follow. Share and subscribe now.